Hello friends, welcome to Hope Arts Library. My name is Emily and today we have a very fun book unboxing to do. I ordered a few books from christianbook.com and some of them are from a genre that is kind of new to me. I mean, it's not new to me, but I don't usually read fantasy books, but I have a couple friends who have been really raving about all the fantasy books that they like. And for some reason, it has put me in a fantasy mood, so I went ahead and ordered them. I'm really excited that this is here today because it wasn't supposed to be here for another like 3 or 4 days. And then they updated the shipping and it was on its way today, so I love when that happens. So we will just get right into this and we will talk about the books that we've got. So, the first book that we have in this box is The Wonderland Trials by Sarah Ella. Look at that cover. Are you kidding me? How beautiful is that? I'll just read you the description because I'm bad at summing things up. All Alice Liddell wants is to escape her normal life in Oxford and find the parents who abandoned her 10 years ago. But she gets more than she bargained for when her older sister Charlotte is arrested for having the infamous Wonder Gene, the key to unlocking the curious Wonderland reality. Soon, Alice receives a rather cryptic invitation to play for Team Hearts in this year's annual and often deadly Wonderland Trials. Now she has less than 24 hours to find her way into Wonderland where nothing is impossible or what it seems. The stakes are raised as she discovers players go missing during the trials each year. Will she and her team solve the clues to find the missing players, or will betrayal and distrust win, leaving Alice alone in a world of her own? Follow the White Rabbit into this topsy-turvy fantasy where players become prey. A sip of the wrong tea might as well be poison, and a queen's ways do not always lead one to where they ought to. That sounds so cool. I am very excited to read that. I hope that it lives up to this gorgeous cover. It would have to be really good to live up to this cover. I haven't checked any of my friends' reviews yet, because honestly I'm kind of scared too. I am a little bit scared too. I hope that this book is really, really good. I will definitely keep you posted on this. The next book is one that I have been excited about since way before it was even released, because it is by one of my absolute favorite authors. I don't have a whole lot of her books in physical copy. Most of her books I've read on my phone. But I really had to order this one. I wish I had more of her books in physical copy, but this is Fairest of Heart by Karen Witemeyer. It is a once upon a time in Texas sort of story. It's from the Texas Ever After, which is, I'm sorry, such a dumb name, but it is a Snow White retelling. If you couldn't tell by her little outfit. And I don't know what time this is based in. I wonder if it says on the inside. 1892. That is pretty classic Karen Witemeyer. And that's also an era that I like a lot. I've recently been more into medieval books, but this one sounded really interesting. It's about a woman named Penelope Snow, and she always is attracting the wrong kind of attention, even when she wears like baggy clothes, even when she wears like shapeless dresses, and tries not to draw any attention to herself. She still manages to attract the wrong attention from men, and it says that she manages to attract the wrong attention, leaving her prospects in tatters. and her jealous mistress plotting her demise because she is a personal maid for a famous actress. And then there's also, of course, the Texas Ranger Titus Kingsley, who doesn't like women. His brother lost his life over a woman, and pretty much every young woman that he encounters doesn't disappoint him. I imagine they're all shallow and, and terrible, which I don't love it when women are portrayed that way. I also don't love it when men are portrayed that way in books. But I do understand that when you are sort of embittered, pretty much everyone seems to meet what you expect from them, because you're sort of seeking that out in them. But then he meets Penelope, obviously, and there is a robbery case, and all of the evidence points to Penelope. But Titus is kind of convinced that she didn't do it, but he has to prove it. So I'm very excited to read this book. I think it is going to be so sweet. All of her books have the most delightful little happy endings. They all have so much good faith content, so many good characters, really well fleshed out characters. Karen Whittemire and Melanie Dickerson are my absolute favorite authors, so I'm very excited to read this. And speaking of Melanie Dickerson, we have The Beautiful Pretender by Melanie Dickerson. I actually read this book on my phone yesterday, so I've already finished it, but not to worry because I loved it and I'm glad that I have a physical copy of it. So most of Melanie Dickerson's books are fairy tale retellings, I think. I'm pretty sure most of them, if not all of them, which I love. I love fairy tale retellings, and these are all set in medieval times, and I love that. I think she has some that are set in like a Regency era, but I have not read those ones, and I also don't know if those are fairy tale retellings, so we shall see. But this one was, I believe, a retelling of The Princess and the Pea. Well, I know it was, but I don't know if it was a retelling of anything else. So basically, this follows our main character, Evelina, and she is not a lady, you know? She doesn't have any kind of title. She is a maidservant for Lady Dorothy. Or Dorothea, I'm not sure which one it is. But the Margrave of Thornbeck has to find a bride. So he hosts a party, and he invites all of these ladies to the party. They're like daughters of earls and dukes and all this stuff. And he invites Lady Dorothea. And then Lady Dorothea runs away with a knight. So the Earl of Plymwald, which is Dorothea's father, sends Evelina in her place with 2 instructions. Don't let the Margrave of Thornbeck fall in love with her, which she thinks should be easy enough, and keep her true identity a secret. Do not let anyone find out. And she agrees to this because she has family that she has to take care of, and the Earl of Plymwald promises to take care of them as long as she keeps her part. But despite Evelina's best attempts at getting the Margrave to ignore her, she has caught his interest. And while that's happening, she's also keeping an eye on other things that are happening in the castle, and it seems like some danger is afoot. I believe I gave this book 5 stars. Absolutely recommend. This is, I will say at times I got a little bored. I might have given it 4 stars. I definitely recommend this book. I recommend pretty much anything by Melanie Dickerson. I've enjoyed every book by her that I've read so far. Okay, the next book in our box, I saw Oshina talking about this book and how much she liked it, so I grabbed Dear Henry, Love Edith. First of all, how adorable is that little cover right there? That is, it's so sweet and so cute. This person says, Bethany Turner says, a rom-com treat for readers to devour, which is so cute. I love the little toaster. I love the little ball of love letters. So this book follows, let's see. This book follows Edith Sherman and Henry Hobbs. This book follows a young widow named Edith Sherman, and from my understanding, she's only 30. Her marriage wasn't that great, and she just sort of decides, I'm done, no more. I am going to go on a humanitarian trip to South Africa. She's just waiting on her paperwork. She needs a place to stay. So she accepts a short-term nursing position in a small Midwestern town. That's where I live. And then she is staying with Henry Hobbs as a house guest. How did that end up happening? Please do not ask me because I have not read it yet, but I think I'm going to make this my next read. I don't know how they ended up in that situation, but so Edith works most nights and Henry works most days, so they don't really see each other, if ever. But they begin to exchange short letters. This just sounds like such a sweet, it's a bigger book than I thought it was, but this just sounds like such a sweet little rom-com. It just sounds like, I don't know, it just sounds so wonderful. It sounds so cute. But we'll see how it's actually written and we'll see how it goes, because I have thought books were going to be really good based on the description before, as everyone has, and then been disappointed. Okay, last book in the box. We have Oathbound by Victoria McCombs. So Oathbound, this is another, I believe, fantasy. I think it's fantasy, but another Christian fantasy. I don't know if it's Christian or if it's just like clean. In her little author description, she does talk about Jesus, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Jesus will be a part of this book. So let's see what this is about. The little blurby thing says, beware the waters, the dangerous deep brings ruin to all. I think this girl's name is Emmy. Emmy has spent her life avoiding anything to do with pirates. Not me. Couldn't be me. But the fates are cruel, and now a hidden sickness leads her to partner with pirates for the one thing that can save her, a cure on an island none are certain exist. The pirate captain's secrets are darker and deeper, are darker than the deep, and threaten to kill them all. His obligations are tinged with betrayal, for his oath bind must be fulfilled. To ignore it is to invite peril of unimaginable destruction. As the adventure unfolds, the sea takes more than she expects, and the sea gives more than he wants. That is so vague. I am a little bit worried about this one because it's very vague. A binding contract, a deadly illness, a mysterious treasure, and a deadly mission. I don't know. We'll see how it goes because I'm still interested in it. I'm just a little worried about it. Ferocious sea monsters, captivating merfolk, legendary treasure troves, and haunting black ships. Danger, romance, and a good dose of piracy. Well, I think that's going to be a pretty good read. I am a little worried about it because the description is a bit vague for me, and that makes me worry that not much happens in this book. But maybe it's vague on purpose because I am not great at making descriptions that are detailed either, because I'm worried I will give away too much. So anyway, these are the books from today's little unboxing. I hope that you have enjoyed. If you've read any of these, please tell me your thoughts about them in the comment section below, because I'd love to talk to anybody about Beautiful Pretender. But if you've read any of these, let me know what you thought of them, because I would love to hear your thoughts. So it was very nice having you all today, and I will talk to you next time once again at Hobart's Library.